It's New Brew Thursday. Woo! And we're back in the studio.
We are in the studio.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
We've kind of gone away from the studio for a while here and there. I mean, not in...
We've had a lot going on. I mean, with Seattle and San Francisco and whatever, there's a lot of, part of what we do, or the main focus of what we do is we want to introduce craft beer, obviously. But there's also a craft beer culture that we want to also introduce as best we can, and that includes beer festivals and that kind of stuff. So it makes sense for us to go and do these things. But when we're there, we get so excited that oh my God, let's film a show here and film a show there and film a show there. And
Camera crazy!
Yeah, and so instead of coming back with an episode, we come back with 4 episodes. And so we're gone for the weekend and you miss us for 4 weeks in the studio.
They're not necessarily beer-centric a lot of the
time.
time.
Because it's not about the festival or it's about the bar or it's about, whatever. So it's nice to come back and just focus on this beer and that amazing glop of mess that's going to taste delicious. I want that in my mouth.
So we decided to come back and go to probably the most accessible beer
in the world,
on the planet, which is Chimay. In this case, Chimay Bleu. This is my first time having an actual Chimay Bleu.
An actual Chimay, yes.
I guess you could say I'm popping my Chimay cherry, right?
Well, Brad and I are popping his Chimay cherry.
That just sounds
cool. I think someone once told me that everyone has a Chimay moment. So this might be.
I think it's true. I think especially people who are starting to explore Belgian beer.
Yeah.
This is one of the first beers you're going to go to explore Belgian beer.
And I didn't.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, you didn't like Belgian beer either initially when we first started the show.
Well, I liked it. I just didn't care for it.
Right. Yeah. So this is like a Belgian double. There are several different styles of Chimay. There's this is the Grande Reserve. There's also the Chimay Rouge, which is the premier.
Chimay Rouge.
And that's going to be, I think and I'm going off of my memory here, but the Chimay Rouge is going to be a little bit more fruity. This is going to be a little bit more peppery.
But not by much.
To me, you couldn't set a Chimay Red and a Chimay Blue side by side. I don't think I would be able to tell the difference. But I know most people probably could, but I wouldn't be able to do that.
So you would be more of a Rouge.
I like the blue better myself.
Oh.
And then the white compares to both of those?
Not at all. The white's actually they call it Cinq Cents or something like that. I'm not pronouncing that properly at all, but it's light in color. It's a little bit, I think it's more of a triple. And I know it's probably wrong. Please correct me. Anyway, and then there's also one, the Chimay Doré, which I believe you only drink at the Abbey itself.
Oh.
It's not really put out there. I'm sure people have it, whatever, but I think it's meant to be drunk at the Abbey. So,
now this is a Trappist ale.
Yes.
Which is part of it's one of the 7 Trappist breweries. Can we name all 7 of them?
We
got
West
Vladerland.
Westfalen.
Akel. Akel.
Rochefort. La Trappe.
The
La Trappe is also called
Koningshoven.
So it's 4.
And then there's Chimay.
Orval. And what's the last one? We're missing the last one.
Westmalle. Duh. Oh my God, my favorite of all of them. I can't remember it. Jesus. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, so Westmalle, that's the 7.
This is very much like the first episode of New Brew Thursday. Because we don't know anything.
Come full circle. Exactly. Oh my God.
Right,
that's excellent. Cheers to being back in the studio.
Cheers.
Cheers to amazing Belgian beer.
This is a lot darker than I thought it would be for some reason. Well, I don't know why I thought it would be golden in color.
Yeah, this is you can get the pepper off the nose and all that kind of stuff, the spiciness of it.
Oh yeah.
Traditionally, you'd pair lamb and game, that kind of stuff. We went with pot roast. And it looks delicious. Tell me you don't think that doesn't look delicious.
That's meat and taters right there.
This is like Midwestern food. This is like Sunday at noon. You have the entire family around the table, and you just and that's what your plate looks like, and that's a single serving.
Yep.
And that's why America's
for the football
fat.
team.
So
I got to try out for the football team. Got to make the weight.
I was like, I got to go back out and work 15 more hours on the farm.
Yeah, this is very well balanced. I know early in my beer drinking days, or at least craft beer drinking days, I would say things taste Belgian-y. Mm-hmm. And this doesn't have that Belgian-y, overwhelming, funky kind of, open, wild fermentation taste to me.
I think, to me, doubles like this, like Westmalle Double and some of these beers, some of the beers that are like this one, You don't get a lot of the Belgian yeast qualities off of them, in my opinion, as much as you do like a triple, or when you get into the Belgian golden pales, where the yeast really comes out. There's so much more
I think it's still
complexity.
there. It's still there.
Yeah, definitely. But there's so much more complexity that it kind of buries it just a little bit and balances it out a little bit more.
It's really tasty.
Chimay's like an all-time favorite.
Smooth.
Yeah.
It is smooth.
It's like a lot of tiny little like tongue scrubbing bubbles. You know?
It does, even on the back end, you still get a lot of other flavors well after you swallow it. It's interesting.
And I think the nice thing about Chimay is that even if you're like, I have a corner liquor store that I can find Chimay in,
Right.
and it's probably been sitting there for a while, but it's still going to taste phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's not like if you find like, oh, I found a Stone Pale Ale in my corner market that was put there last year, you know, and it's like, oh, this doesn't taste good at all.
Yeah.
This is really dangerous at 9%.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did not expect that.
I don't get a lot of heat off of it at all.
Yeah.
That's why until after the camera shuts off, we're not opening this. That's for the after party.
I have not seen a grocery store that, in California at least, that doesn't have Chimay.
Yeah.
Like they're everywhere.
It's everywhere. And one of the things with Chimay, I mean, they're big enough and whatever, because one of the things about Trappist breweries is that they're not allowed to make money.
Yeah,
The idea of being Trappist is that they're completely nonprofit. All the money goes back into the brewery and into their different causes that they support. And so Chimay is obviously the biggest and most widely distributed and probably makes the most money, but it all goes back into their...
A major part of the sales revenue is used by the monks to support charitable works, and that's the end of the sentence.
Charitable works.
But I would assume, obviously they have to take some money to buy
There's administrative costs.
ingredients. And,
Yeah.
A
wise man once told me, if you want to get rich, start a nonprofit. So
Nonprofit doesn't mean there is no profit.
now they're rich.
means the bottom line is why are we talking and not eating? Excuse me, folks, while I dig into this. I will not make any beef jokes because that would be inappropriate.
Now, are we going to get different?
Now I feel like you have to. It's just like typical Steve.
Are we going to get different? Wow, that's good. Never mind.
Well, the gravy is pretty much going to make the mashed potatoes taste just like that at this point. So.
So I got my
Yeah. I like what this is doing though because beefy. This, I mean, the pot roast and the gravy obviously has a lot of pepper and not like spicy, like hot spicy, but a lot of spices going on in it. And it accentuates the pepper in this a little bit, but not that much. Where it brings the maltiness of the beer out more, and it just gets an even more balanced and more smooth flavor to it.
Sweetness out of it.
Yeah.
This adds to the beef, in my opinion.
Definitely.
It enhances the overall flavor.
It
complements perfect.
I can see why cheeses would be hard to pair with this because there is a lot of alcohol. Even though it's a Belgian beer, it is a big beer.
Right.
Yeah, you got to find that line between strong enough to stand up to it and not so strong that it blows it away.
Right.
And this is a beer that kind of floats in that middle ground of cheese.
It floats in the middle ground of cheese. The magical land
That's
of
a
the
punk
middle
band.
ground of cheese.
The middle ground of cheese is my new punk band.
What does it even mean?
Gruyere though would work well with this, according to Bill.
Chimay washed.
Chimay washed wine cheese, probably. That's kind of an obvious.
That's just good.
I would really love to cook a pot roast with Chimay. Because, I mean, you're right. Like, I do think that this helps the beer a lot, but the beer, like, there is a difference between, like, okay, this beer is made so much better by this food versus this food is made so much better by this beer.
Right.
And, I mean, it's...
I think I meant the food's made better by the beer.
Right, and that's what I'm saying is that because of that, I would love to see how it would work in a cooking setting where you just, you marinate the beer and into the pot roast and cook it all day long in a slow roaster. Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
What's your guys' favorite experience cooking with beer? Or what?
I think
mine are all from Sean Paxton. But
well, yeah, I think the Monk's Blood,
Monk's Blood
sausages that you made in San Francisco this last weekend, but only because Bill yelled at you the next morning for not coming out.
That was your favorite experience, me getting yelled at?
Sean Paxton also did that at San Francisco Beer Week.
Oh, yeah. And they were amazing,
That's where I got the idea, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot he did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were really good. So you should try that.
Monk's Blood and
21st
sausage.
Amendment Monk's Blood with, I don't know what kind of sausages.
German sausages, yeah.
It was bomb.
He used a specific time, but Sean makes some amazing food. I mean, like, and that's you could file that under the understatement of the year.
Right. This one's done.
We'll open the second one.
Shall we?
Keep it going.
All right.
We're drinking responsibly right now.
We did get some. We did get some flack because we don't have the 3-bottle thing anymore.
Yeah, that's just too much.
Well, no, and it's not even that it's too much. It's the idea behind that was never. Yeah, it was never 3 bottles. Like we're not gonna have 3 Jeroboams of something sitting on here. It's 3 actual servings of beer for all of us. It's not like here's a 12-ounce bottle that we will all split between us.
Yeah.
So.
I will say that when we shot with Devin and did the Angel share.
Oh, that was too much.
That was a lot.
Oh my God.
Beer.
Devin found places in the backyard that we still have not been able to find to clean up yet. So.
I have a feeling after opening the second bottle, this is about to be a really good show.
Nice. On that note,
Either that or it's peaking right now. Yeah. It's all downhill from here.
Since we've been talking about food and whatever, let's go ahead and see what Bill has for us today on his Master Pairing segment.
Oh, I love this part.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Master Pairings with me, Dr. Bill, and today I have Steven with me. Hey Steven, how's it going, my friend?
Good. How are you?
Good. And today, what are we drinking?
We are drinking a pale ale that's not quite a pale ale.
That's right, Yellowtail Pale Ale from Ballast Point. It's actually brewed in the Kolsch style. Kolsch is the term for Cologne, Germany. We call it Cologne, they call it Kolsch. It's a beer style that's brewed there. It's very old. It's actually an ale, but it's an ale that's brewed with ale yeast, but lagered like a Pilsner.
Right.
So what happens is all of the characteristics of an ale, the big aggressive yeast characteristic, mellows out and it becomes more Pilsner-like with a nice sweet finish. So let's see how they did with their interpretation of this.
Big fan of Ballast Point.
Reisdorf is a famous Kolsch brewery, and so I actually have some Reisdorf glasses, so we'll pour them in there. So be careful because you're not gonna get a lot of volume in there, and it's gonna foam up right away probably.
Oh, this is not my
Unless
first rodeo.
you take your time. Well, that's good.
Boom.
Beautiful. Almost to the top, not bad.
Can I ask why they call this a pale ale instead of a Kolsch?
Probably, I'm guessing marketing. Yusuf and Colby and Mr. White, the owner. I'm guessing they probably did that. I mean, it is a pale beer.
Right.
It is an ale.
So technically, it's a pale ale.
Is it brewed in a classic English or American style pale ale?
No, because I can tell right off the nose that this is not. This is more Pilsnery. So, are you going to cheers it, or are you just going to start drinking it without me?
Since you did that to me a couple weeks ago, I thought I'd just pay back.
Payback. All right, well, cheers.
Cold.
Cheers.
Served cold.
Nice. Cheers to payback and revenge, as well as good beer. Yeah, it definitely has a Kolsch quality to it. This is obviously a Kolsch. So.
Well, it's not a Grolsch or Kolsch.
No,
It's a Kolsch.
Kolsch.
No G.
I like the R.
No R.
No G, but there's an R.
No R. Kolsch.
No, there's not.
K-O-L-S-
As I'm looking at the glass, like
K-O-L-S-C-H.
I've always called it a
Anyways,
Kolsch.
very subtle beer.
Yeah.
Obviously. So delicate. Have it with seafood. Have it with light cheeses. Have it with salads. Things of that nature.
This definitely seems like a good sushi beer.
We cooked up a little salmon. So jump on in there. Just a little simple preparation. Lovely.
Love salmon. Oh, wow.
See how that plays?
Yeah. That's really nice.
Brings out the sweetness of the beer, but yet lets the salmon play. And if you
salmon,
add a little
like the-
citrus going on, which I did not add to this, but if you added a little citrus,
Yeah, that's a whole new level with the salmon. The salmon's got a nice rich texture and flavor, and very very nice flavor profile. You add this with this, it brings out the sweetness, it dries it out a little bit, and it just gives it just such a great finish.
which does it do, Stephen? Does it add sweetness or dry it out?
It does both.
It does both at different points of your
Yeah,
palate, doesn't it?
it's sweetness at the front, and then it dries out in the back, and it just kind of brings everything kind of together. It wraps it up into a nice little Christmas gift.
Yeah. That's lovely. It's a
like
very
having Santa in your
underrated
mouth.
style, primarily because there's very few Kolsches that make it to the United States. Kolsches are a beer, even though they're lagered, once they're released, I like them fresh, just like I like Pilsners fresh. There's nothing like being in Pilsen and drinking Pilsner Urquell
Okay.
and drinking
I can
it fresh.
imagine.
Or being in Cologne and drinking a Kolsch, sitting in the marketplace and just enjoying a nice Kolsch in the glass.
We'll have to do a master pairing
And-
from both those locations.
I'm all for it. But yeah, it's a historically older style in Germany, but it's, as you know, because the Reinheitsgebot and most German beers are lagers. This is not a lager.
Right. But it's a ale that's lagered. Right.
It is lagered.
Right. So I think that the Kolsch gets confused with Pilsners quite a bit.
They do. If you ever do them, if you want to do something fun, take a classic Pilsner. You can take Czech or German. Slight variations, but matter of fact, take either one and put it with the Kolsch, and I think you'll find a sweeter, more rounded finish on the Kolsch.
Right.
So that's interesting, and that's because the ale yeast really plays through with that.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay.
So
Good to know.
thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks everyone. Cheers to another Master Pairings.
Boom.
So we're back from Master Pairings.
Yep.
It was a long drive back from Bill's.
Good one.
Good one. They don't know that we just did what we just did, and we just
Pretty sure they do, actually.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, this is fantastic. These are the kind of meals I love to eat, which is why I wear 3XL. And that's to the breweries out there. I'm looking for new shirts. So if you could find me some in 3XL, be great. I'll buy them online, whatever. Just, that's my commercial. Sorry.
You better
That's his
be.
plea.
That's my plea. I need new clothes, and I don't want to go to Walmart.
Let's help Steve out.
Yes.
We're setting up a charity, so
Charity for XL, triple XL shirt wearers.
Okay.
Brad's like, well, of the 3 times that we've shot this part of the show, we've never done this yet.
I was just going to say, if you want to try what we just had and you have a BJ's in your area, you could go do that because they do sell these in bottles.
Yep.
if
They
you
do
ask
indeed.
them.
Most of them. I'm sure there's some that might not have it available, but I know the ones that I've all been to have always had Chimay.
Just say you want the New Brew Thursday and they'll know what you mean.
They so totally won't. Anyway,
like you're drunk, leave.
exactly. We want to take just a minute to give you guys a little clarification, answer a few of the questions that we've gotten over Twitter about the homebrew competition that we're having with Bison Brew up in Berkeley. Yep. First of all, there are 3 rounds to this the first semifinal segment. It's not a progressive situation where you have to get through the first round to make it into the second round, and they're all completely independent. You can enter any one of the 3 that you want. The dates are for final submission are April 15th for the first one, May 15th for the second one, and June 1st for the last one.
And the reason those dates exist is because we're going to make shows out of the entries we get for each month.
Right.
So just know
So
that.
the final week of each month, or the final Thursday of each month, will be our homebrew show where we feature the up to 4 winners for that month.
Right.
There may only be 1 beer, but it will be up to 4 winners. And then anybody who is on the show, who gets to that point, who is featured on the show, is then entered into the final round where they will brew a completely 100% organic beer. And if you need help finding organic ingredients, check out Seven Bridges up in Santa Cruz. They have an online website. They service
Just Google it.
organic homebrewers. Yeah.
I just met them at CBC. They were super nice. So
Name dropper. Anyway.
I'm just saying
Just throwing that out
they
there.
are cool. And
Yeah,
we
they are
should
very
use
cool
them.
people. And they're not paying us to say that. We're just saying it. So anyway, you can get them to help you create an original recipe that's fully organic. Send us 4 bottles of that recipe
If you're a finalist.
if you're a finalist, and you'll be notified if you need to do this.
Yeah.
Some of you can be cocky and just do it anyway, and maybe you'll hear from us, maybe you won't.
We'll drink it.
We'll drink it. Anyway, those have to be entered no later than July 1st. And seriously, if it comes in July 2nd, I love you and I want to help you out, not going to be entered. July 1st.
And a couple
So-
of things, like it's kind of like MBA applications. There are 3 tiers, but the later you wait, the more competition there is because most humans are procrastinators. So
Right.
Yeah.
if you want to have a
5,000 of your
better
homebrew,
chance
yeah.
of getting shown on the show, the earlier the better.
Yeah. And we've already started getting quite a few submissions, so thank you to everybody that's been on the ball and has just totally gotten us in there. We've even gotten a few that have special instructions, such as you're going to get this. Please drink it the day you get it because it's at its peak. We're okay with that. We'll do whatever we have to make sure that we taste your beer at its prime. So just send along the instructions that you want us to know. Also, be aware that you need to send us some information about the beer. Sending me a box with no return address and 4 bottles in it that have no labels and no information.
Empty
You're gonna
bottle.
lose.
Yeah.
For the guy that did that, thank you. I enjoyed those beers. They were delicious. I have no idea who you are, so you're not entered.
You can submit any beers that you want, but it has to be organic for the final round.
Yes.
So
Only the final round is organic. You can send us triple IPA with... I'm not going to make the little people joke again. Anyway.
Again,
what? Yeah, you can send us any style, any ingredient you want for the first round. Final round is definitely only organic. So anyway, we're very glad to be back in the studio. We're very happy just to have a good time and have fun. Now we're just gonna go get completely trashed.
No, we're not. Come on.
I'm pretty sure.
I always want to, and he never lets me. God dang it!
Pretty sure we're on our way.
He's like, oh, we have to drink responsibly.
We have to stay safe and drink beer.
Oh, hey, how about you stay safe and drink beer?
I like everyone's getting on me. What did I do? I'm just saying, like, we're not going to get trashed.
All
Like,
right, fine. We're gonna have a couple of beers.
Sounds like a
responsibly
challenge.
and enjoy ourselves.
yeah, we're going to finish off this plate of awesomeness.
I'm done.
I'm actually going to make a mountain out of the mashed potatoes, but that's just me.
We're going to dip our faces.
We're gonna make mashed potato sculptures of ourselves. All right. On that note, stay safe and drink beer.